and welcome to The Scroll, your home for everything SWC, not 2020, 2021, with all of the coverage for all the picks, the meta picks, the players, the information, everything you need here for SWC. I'm your host, Daniel dGon Gonzalez, and joining me are this year's casters for the English broadcast, OnceInLuv and Stoic, who are clearly practicing their connection together based off of the pattern of their shirts. All right, experts, time to show how much you know. Who was the most picked monster in season 17?
Easy, it's Okeanos.
Okeanos is the right answer. OnceInLuv got it right. How much of that should we expect to see in America's Cup?
I actually don't think we'll see as much of it as we did before. Okeanos dominated season 17 because people didn't quite understand how strong Cardinal was yet, or really adapt to the changes that Okeanos took. I think that in current meta, we might see him as like a faster turn one unit, but he's definitely less prevalent than we see the Fire Bison.
I could definitely agree with that, but I can also definitely see a pre-ban coming out on the Connell. Connell's becoming a very strong bruiser right now, and I see a lot of people resorting to an Okeanos. Also, if they lack the ability to reset, we may see an Okeanos come out on top of that as well.
Well, we got to see a lot of Okeanos in season 17, but rounding out the top 10, we have Moore, or Water Ryu, Sierra, dGon, Ganymede, Gianna, Chung Pung, Nefties, and Mo Long. And I wanted to talk specifically about dGon. We got to see a lot of it in season 17, one of the hottest monsters out there, but almost no use previously. What was the big change, and why all of a sudden did this unit pop up in priority, Stoic?
Before, if you had the scroll trap and you missed it, your turn was over. But now that we have the additional turn with that second skill, I think that's really what's giving dGon that extra power that he has right now, because there was a recent nerf that came out. They removed the speed buff coming from his strip as well. So with the additional turn, I think we're still going to get a lot of use from dGon. I think we're definitely going to see a little bit of dGon in SWC as well.
Yeah, even with that nerf coming out, like, dGon is still an extremely good answer to most of the things in the meta. He's very good at disabling units with passives, almost more effective than Oblivion. He just has a lot of strength at taking out pretty much anything out of the field and changing the game to a 4v3.
Yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on those two monsters. And for you all at home, which monsters do you think are going to be popping up in SWC 2021? The meta is always evolving. Will you be the one that lets us know in the future? Put it in the comments below. All right, moving along. We got the full competitor list for SWC 2021, and we'll start off with the APAC region. First up, in Group A, we have Charmy, Lucky God, MDBB, Juan, Second Baby, ZZI Seong, Jisung, Jack, and 4Baby. Any quick thoughts on this group and their participants, OnceInLuv?
You know, a lot of us have seen Second Baby and 4Baby play a lot. You know, they stream on Twitch. We also see a lot of their replays up. They don't delete the replays ever. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how 4Baby and Second Baby kind of play into this APAC region cup alongside, you know, we've seen Charmy and Lucky God before. Absolutely incredible players. Lucky God, true to his name, one of the luckiest players I've ever seen. But a couple new names here that I'm really interested in their performance. You know, Jisung, MDBB, and Juan. I haven't had a chance to see them before.
Very happy to see a Second Baby and 4Baby match. Imagine these two going at it, father and son. That'll be a very interesting match to see.
Yeah, both of them qualifying for the Korean qualifiers, but not quite making it out since then, looking for a better run this year in SWC 2021 out of the APAC region. Moving on to Group B, we have 2019 most favored to win, Diligent, Zaire, Iced Coyote, Baby Darkness, Hong KFC, Croms, Remember YS, and Silent Control. OnceInLuv, you have strong feelings about one of these players in this group.
Well, I gotta say, Diligent's probably one of the most brilliant players in the game. He's very good at adapting throughout a series, you know, seeing him play in the Legend tournament and just seeing him play in smaller tournaments and even, you know, the SWCs over the year. I think he has an incredible potential every single year.
I've got my eye on Zaire this year. I think he's got redemption calling his name. Mr. Chung knocked him out before going into the final, and I'm expecting to see Zaire be a little bit more prepared this year for him.
That was Group B. Now, to Group C, we have last year's SWC World Champion, Mr. Chung, along the likes of Frank, Meow Meow, Kelvin, G. Diego, Yodayo, Friane, and Henry. Obviously, you got Mr. Chung in this group. Is that the only person you're looking at, OnceInLuv, or are there others in this group that might make some waves?
I'm not too familiar with all the players in this group, but I do know, and I have played against Meow Meow a lot of times. The matches are pretty tough, and I do think that there's a pretty good tournament standing in there with the roster that they have.
Yeah, minus Mr. Chung there. I think I'm also excited to see Meow Meow. More particularly because I can't wait to just start shouting the name Meow Meow as he progresses through that tournament.
Finally, in Group D, we have Matsu, Etowaru, Oseru, Milky Taisa, Kaibashiro Taro, Marinoa, Iakichi Ba, and Shaja. Who sticks out to you in this final Group D of the APAC region, OnceInLuv?
I'm gonna be honest, unless I could see their profile pictures, a lot of the Japanese players are kind of lost to me. I remember some of the names, but I know that Matsu is incredible. He's been here since, I think, the first SWC, actually, so always interested to see him play.
So now let's turn our eyes to the West, and we'll start with Europe. We've got the following players: Shaycizo, Pinkroyd, 13 Jan 37. Last year's European champ, Belipity, Ismu, Guts the Berserk, Obabo, Elmo, Shen, Smokes, Livert, Drackle, Rossith, That Apji, Sapin, and Lancelot. Lots of great competitors and some returning ones. Stoic, you go first this time. Who stands out?
Once again, we are always excited to see Obabo in here. Obabo, it could be his year this year, but we're going to find out. I'm really looking forward to Obabo.
I'm excited to see Pinkroyd play. Pinkroyd had a really good running in for the Legend contention in Season 15 and is just an incredible player. Something really worth noting is Velipity is probably one of the most unique players in this entire roster, so it's always a pleasure watching him play. He plays the game the way he wants to play the game, not the way that the meta fits it.
Next up, we have the participants from the China Selection Tournament. We have How to Play, L&D Monster, Tars, the 2020 World Champion Lest, Magic Man, Jing, Half Frog, and the best name out of this group, G. Justin Bieber. Who sticks out from this group of players from the China Selection Tournament?
Gotta say, Justin Bieber definitely sticks out a lot. But of course, we have 2020's world champion Lest. I think Lest sticks out the most. I think he went out first round last year, so I think Lest is looking to do a bit better performance and keep up with that title that he has.
I am absolutely ecstatic to see How to Play in SWC. This is a player who consistently makes it to the Legend tournament every season, or almost every season. This is a player who absolutely demolishes people on ladder. So I'm interested to see how well they can play in a further on series against the best of the best.
Last but not least, because, you know, this is where we're from, the America's Cup. We've got, for the first time ever, True Whale, Shizzy, Fearus, Madream D, JSSSS, Big V, Dustin, and Daniel Karaoke. Now, OnceInLuv, why don't you tell me about a couple of them, and then we'll pass it over to Stoic.
All right, so a couple of these players I know super well. Fidas is a really good close friend of mine. He has an incredibly unique style. He also kind of plays the game the way he wants to instead of the meta, but has been doing incredible on ladder. Finished really high in both the last 3 recent seasons. And then we have Daniel Karaoke. I remember maybe 2 years ago, Daniel came to me. He's like, I want to learn how to play RTA. And here he is now, SWC competitor. JSSS, old guildmate of mine, an incredible player, very, very good at the approach to the game and as well as counterpicking draft halfway through. And then Madream D, a lot of us in the English community know them as Madi. Very, very strong player. Very strong player. Definitely an underdog in my opinion.
We've got True Whale from the SSA community as well, and there's a reason behind that name, True Whale, and I think most people know why. He is last season's Legend Tourney winner, so big congrats to him. Looking forward to seeing him perform. But we also have Shizzy here, who's been competing in Legend Tournament. I think he has one Legend Tournament victory as well. And I'm not too sure the last time we've seen him, but he has that capability to play up there in those high ranks. So definitely 2 very strong competitors.
Well, definitely a lot of new faces here, but we also return 8 members from last year's America's Cup. Let's get to it. First up, we've got the 2020 champion of America's Cup, J-Mac, the 2019 champion, Thompson, and the 2018 champion, Dreams Joseph, not done yet, and the 2017 champion, Tiger, as well as Zafarius, Topa V, Faint Memory, and finally, Michael Yan. Will competitive experience be the edge here? And who are you looking to make it out of this group of veterans, Stoic?
This is the bracket of champions, guys. This is anyone's game when we look at this list. There's just so many big names here. I can't help but root for my boy Thompson and just want to see him do the very best out here, but this is extremely competitive for every one of those names you just named off.
Yeah, these are the best of the best. The absolute incredible. They do a ton of research on people. I think, honestly, Thompson's got a pretty good edge. I mean, he pulled that ragdoll this year, so he's really up there. It's like probably his most wanted LDNAT 5. But I gotta say, you can't really count out any of these competitors. Dreams Joseph had a huge upset versus Thompson that year. We got Tiger, one of the most old school, very methodical, strong players. And, people like Zephyrius, Toba V, Fame Memory, Michael Yan, all of these players have the ability to win. Sometimes they just need a little bit of luck on their side.
We'll be able to punch their ticket in the 2021 America's Cup after we get to look at the preliminaries. On day one, we have match 1, True Whale versus Daniel Carioca. Then we'll have Shizzy versus Dustin. Then we'll have Zephyrius versus Big V. And then finally on day 1, we'll wrap it up with Faint Memory versus JSSS. Who you got after you heard those matchups securing their ticket to the America's Cup, Stoic?
I mean, True Will versus Daniel Carioca. Daniel Carioca is a very, very nice guy, someone very close to my heart as well. To see him going up against True Will in the first match, that's a scary one. I really want to see Daniel Carioca do well, but he's got a wall to climb, or I guess a whale to climb.
So this first day of matches, I think the match I'm actually most interested in is going to be Fame Memory versus JSSS. Both of those players are fairly familiar with each other. They're actually, they've played a lot. We've been in guilds together. I think JSSS has the advantage slightly just based on roster, but I mean, knowing Fame Memory, he is probably, I would say probably the most brilliant mind in the entire game.
In day number 2, we've got Dreams Joseph against Michael Yan, Topa V against Madreamd, Tiger versus J-Mac, and Thompson versus Firas. Who's going to punch their ticket to the America's Cup on day number 2, OnceInLuv?
I gotta see that Thompson versus Firas. I think Firas, with the way he plays the game, actually probably has the best chance to win against Thompson versus most of these players. Raw rune quality, Thompson is just an absolute beast. He's a monster. He's so methodical and so clean. The way he plays the game is incredible. But Firas just has this unique mind and is able to tinker around things that people don't really expect.
Well, we've got Tiger and J-Mac going at it. I do believe these are two guildies. I am very surprised to see these two paired up. That's going to be definitely a match to watch for.
All right, so we don't know how day number 3 is going to shape up because it'll be based off of days 1 and 2. The preliminary tournament is a double elimination bracket. So if you lose in day 1 and day 2, don't punch your ticket there. No worries, day 3 is there for that. We will punch 4 more tickets. So it'll be one hell of a time. I hope you all at home are as excited as I am for SWC 2021. It was such a fantastic experience filled with a ton of great matches, great storylines, and I think it's fair to say a surprise winner. And it all starts with the prelims going down very, very soon. OnceInLuv, this is your first tournament. Do you have any final thoughts for us before we sign off on our first episode of The Scroll?
I mean, I think this year is going to be absolutely filled with bangers. We have some of the most incredible players that are well known on Twitch, on YouTube, people that have been playing for years and years in multiple SWCs. This is the year to watch this tournament. If you haven't seen it before, make sure to come by. I guarantee you'll have a good time.
Definitely excited to be back again. I love it when SWC comes around again, and I absolutely love casting it. Definitely look forward to this year casting right next to OnceInLuv here, and I look forward to all of these exciting matches. It's amazing to see so many champions in this America's Cup. Might be a little biased, but I think America's Cups may look like the best cup that we have of all.
Here's all the info you need to know on the scheduling of the tournament. Make sure you guys put that in your calendars and lock it in. We'll see you all there. Thanks for watching.